The movie that I'm reviewing today is the movie Crash. The main characters of the film that I noticed was Don Cheadle's character, Detective Graham, Officer Tom, played by Ryan Phillip, Anthony as Ludacris, and Thiondy Newton as Christian Thayer. I would say there isn't a whole lot of relationship between these characters besides Officer Ryan's Officer Ryan and Thiondy Newton, who interact in the beginning scene where Officer Ryan is basically sexually assaulting her and illegally stopping them and frisking. So, as we see Officer Ryan in the beginning of the film, we sort of get a sense that because he's in uniform, because we see him communicating on the phone, he looks pretty stable. We come to learn that he's trying to take care of his father, and he wants his father to be well and healthy. We also see that after stopping Cameron and Kristen in their car, that he is a little racist. He can be abusive, he's aggressive, and he might even be a little psychotic. So the PTSD might be showing a little bit. Question 3. What Officer Ryan really wants is to see his father get healthy, ultimately. He's been staying with him for quite a while, and his father is someone he has looked up to for a while, so that's really his only goal, is to see his father get healthy. The traumatic scene that makes the character deviant, I would assume, is at the beginning, where he does stop Cameron and Kristen and purposely is, almost getting kind of aroused by the power and control that he has over them. And I would believe that that would be the traumatic scene. He stopped them with no probable cause. It was an illegal stop and frisk. His mindset after was really just frustration, I think, and anger about his dad. And because he's an officer, I think he feels that he's large and in charge, and that no one can really stand in his way. The crime that he commits, I noticed, was obviously the illegal traffic stop with no probable cause and the sexual assault on Kristen. Let me see my notes here. Yeah, so according to an article done by Dr. John Violante, who's a former NYPD officer, he talks about PTSD in officers, and he says that it impairs the mental well-being and can affect the ability for them to do their job. It can also lead to aggression. And the study that was done on how the brain changes, where they looked at people who had PTSD or higher signs of PTSD, and then those who had very low, if not any, found that those that had higher levels of PTSD had higher levels of rapid decision making. And because of that, it can affect the brain systems due to the heightened arousal that they have. And this very well could have been what Officer Ryan was suffering from. The lack of decision making put other people at risk. The victims in this case were Kristen and Cameron. they were depicted as being scared. They felt helpless, but at the same time, they were a little frustrated too with the situation, and they obviously did not deserve it. And they could and when they see, then the next question was asking about could he stop, and I think seeing that he's pretty normal and empathetic about his father and being in law enforcement, I would assume that he was able to stop if he chose to. The victims were obviously Christian and Cameron, and the article also talked about ways to prevent this from having occurred. Officer Ryan, if he had gone in primary prevention program to notice this prior to getting PTSD, I think that would have helped him. There's also trauma inoculation training. There's trauma awareness and proactive assessments as well. And these are really all steps to help all officers with their rigorous and traumatic lives that they live when they witness catastrophic events that we can't really fathom. So that was all the questions. Thank you.